obligately social, meaning they can't live on their own. An individual bee cannot live on its own. So they live in a colony.
I think one of the main things you have to remember when you go on the ice is never safe, ever. Okay, it just isn't. There's always times things can happen. Expansion, contraction, cracks, ridges.
And all of a sudden, I mean, the bees just started to pour out of the hive. I mean, just in number, just almost solid.
You'll actually cause a wave under the ice with the front tires on a vehicle, and that can separate the ice. So the faster you go, the bigger the wave. And the bigger the wave, the more pressure on the ice. And that's when people get in trouble.
So basically, they huddle together, and there's an outer kind of a mantle or outer shell of bees that are right at the temperature where they could go into chill coma, but they don't. And their heads are pointed inwards because when they're generating heat, heat goes forward and out the head. So they keep their heads together to direct heat in, and they're tightly packed on the edge. And inside the cluster, they're a little bit looser, and they can shiver their flight muscles to generate heat. So they'll shiver heat, and then it's trapped by that outer shell of bees with their heads facing in.
I would check the ice constantly, and there's no way that I would ever walk out on the ice without an ice chisel. And I'd hit it hard, and if I went through, I'd turn around and go back. With the trucks, normally you have to have 12 inches, and then you have to watch because you get cracks that open up. I've had cracks open up 50 feet.
We put her in there. And in every 7 to 10 days, we examine the hive to see how she's doing, see what her egg pattern is and everything. If we pull up a frame and it's a really bad egg pattern, or she's laying all drones, we know something's wrong. If she should die or get sick, the bees know about it in about 4 hours because she gives off a pheromone on the surface of her body. All the bees touch her with their antenna, and they pass this around. We call it a perfume with a message that she's still alive and well and everything. She should die. They all know about it in about 4 hours, and they start preparations to make a new queen. And they make about 5 or 6 or 7 queen cells. And the first one to hatch out goes and stings the other queen cells to death. So she's the only one in there. And then she goes off and mates and comes back and replaces the queen.